Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. You're most welcome to ILAS and to our seminar, What Next for Public Policy Development, Strengthening the Use of Data and Evidence. My name is John Canavan. I'm a professor here in the Institute. I work for the UNESCO Child and Family Research Centre. I'm a member of the School of Political Science and Sociology and the discipline of Applied Social Sciences. So I sometimes struggle to remember who I am with all those. Today my job is to be the MC and also to be the rapporteur. So I'm just going to go straight into some housekeeping because we want to get those things right. First of all, you've seen some colleagues outside who are wearing pink badges. If there's any issues, anything that you need help with, please ask help when it comes to lunchtime. Just parking, I hope that everybody is parked properly who drove today, that you've logged your car onto the APCOA app and selected the policy event and so on, and also that you're parked in between the white lines, not the blue lines, which are for the pay and display. I know these are small items, but they're important if you get clamped later on, and nobody wants that for anybody. Obviously, we want to think about emergency exits in case there was a need to evacuate the building. So just to my right, you can see an exit, but also the exits behind and out front here. But just please make sure you know where the exits are for yourselves. So I'll just do a bit of modelling. So I'm going to put my phone on silent. So could people do that as well? We don't want to be interrupting the important work of today. There are bathrooms on the floor above, the floor down here, and the next level up if anybody needs to use the facilities, and they're well signposted. So we'll talk about lunch just before lunchtime. So that's just a quick on the housekeeping. I'm not going to say very much at all, just to say you're in the ILAS building. It's the home of the Institute for Life Course and Society. Our mission is to enable equity across the life course. We have a certain number of research themes. We're at a really exciting point in our development. We've started a new strategic plan process, I suppose, and implementation. And it's really, really exciting to be here now. And for us to be able to host this third of our policy seminar series at such a level is really tremendous. I'm really excited about it. I would say from my own point of view, I often think about the two communities and this literature on this, looking at well, what is it like for the state, the government, the civil and public service, and these academic communities. And to be honest, I think it's simple in a way because we are all in pursuit of the good life for citizens of here in this country and indeed globally, and we can see the impact the Irish state's having on that at the moment. But it's lovely to have an opportunity then to have a dialogue, to try to understand each other a little bit better, to kind of get to know what actually goes on in these processes around policy development. And we're going to have a fantastic morning for that. And it's brilliant to have the level of knowledge, experience, insight and capacity in this room this morning for the process today. We'll talk about the lineup later on, but we're going to start with some brief introductions. So I'm going to ask the president of our university, Professor Ciarán hÓgartaigh, to say a few words straight away. So, Ciarán.
Thanks, Sean. Míle mágah agus an fáilte roimh anseo. Imagine to be down of weekty vast velling. And I was particularly pleased when John introduced me as the president of our university. I've been always making the point that this is our university. There is no day university, an inanimate object out there. This is animated communities. We are animated communities which make up our university. And we're particularly pleased to welcome you here. You'll see that here in this building, the vibrancy that we have here, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But the first thing I want to say, and I said it to Fergal earlier, is to thank Fergal Lynch for, first of all, organising this particular conference and all our colleagues, but to thank him also for the contribution he's made here. And the main message I'd like to reiterate today is that Fergal's presence here has worked. It has really made a difference to our engagement with public policy and public policy to us. And there are a number of reasons why that has worked. First of all, there's Fergal's disposition. As you know, when you meet him first, there's a natural smile there, there's a natural wish to engage, there's a background in academic work as well as in public service over a number of departments in very senior positions. But I think it also worked because we are open here to engaging in public policy. And this very building is here for that reason. And when we devised our strategy a number of years ago, which we're now looking at again for the next 5 years, and looking at a new strategy, one of the things we committed to as a university was being for the public good. And we had some discussion around that, whether we should say it or not, because maybe some people felt it goes without saying, often it doesn't, and it should be said again. Secondly, what does it mean? And for me, it means we're here, as John has said, for the better life, the good life for all our citizens. And we're with you in that. So that's, again, what public policy is about. And for us, we're therefore not here for us. We're not here to serve the university or our university or ourselves. We're here to serve the better and wider good, the public good. And then we committed to a series of values: respect, openness, excellence and sustainability. We did a survey recently of whether people thought they were useful, and we got very resounding yes. Whether people made progress on them, we also, to my surprise, because I'm more self-critical than that, we got good feedback on the progress we've made on all four, sustainability in particular. But I think we're now thinking about the next strategy, and one of the words which we've asked about, we're keeping those values and that sense of being here for the public good. But one of the things we asked is, what else do we need to nuance? And the word which came back, respect, was what we came back last time. This time is belonging. And again, that's very important for us, because whether it's because of COVID, because of social media, because of a divided and disunited world, there's a longing for belonging which is becoming more and more important. And again, our university belongs here in the sense that we work for the public good in this region, but also we amplify that as an international ambition. Every time you wake up in Galway, you see the horizon, you wonder what's on the other side. And one of the things I've been saying all the time here, and my colleagues will forgive me for saying once again, is we're a university with no gates. We've opened up, there was one gate behind the quad closed, we've opened up all the gates. And that's symbolic in one way, because we want people to come in who wouldn't normally see this as their natural home. But secondly, and more importantly, and I've been thinking about that this morning, it's easy to say, university with no gates, that we're open as a value. But what does that mean? And there's various manifestations of it. First of all, the work with Fergal and public policy more generally, and their desire to work there. This building in itself is North Campus, on the edge of campus, and we see ourselves as a university on the edge of things, but also in the centre of things. So we're on the edge of Europe, but between here and what John F. Kennedy says was the next parish when he visited here in '63, what you could see if the weather was good enough and your eyesight, if the weather was clear enough, your eyesight was good enough, was Boston. So this sense that this university, as this building is on the edge of things, but in the centre of things as well. But there are other elements here too, that we here are very engaged in public research, engaging with the public. So we've Sean Deneen here from Ignite PPI, supported by HRB, where we bring the patient and public involvement in very early in the research, from the very beginning. So the question is not asked by us, but by the public or the patient. The methodology is not designed exclusively by us, but by the public and the patient. And the findings are also in the context of that engagement, that sense of impact that's so important to us. We have citizen scientists, and again, this week you might have seen a call out for work on bees. We've also work on hedgehogs. So that whole principle that we want citizens to engage with us in research. We also have Insight here on campus. We are the administrative lead and the co-lead of Insight. And Insight is involved in a number of areas with government currently. And in particular, we're welcoming SFI changing the methodology or the counting of research funding to allow exchequer funding to be counted as part of the contribution of an SFI research centre, because the engagement with public policy is particularly important for us. So SFI is involved particularly in work on AI and how we might think about AI in the public sector more broadly, in society more broadly, involved with COVID, both during COVID, Jim Duggan, but more generally in post-COVID. What do we think about pandemics? How do we model them? Using data again, taking from the theme of today, using data and evidence. in the context of public policy. So there are a myriad of, I'm always reluctant to cover one example, but there are a myriad of examples of where we are here democratizing research. And that's a really important principle, because it adds, first of all, to the question, asking the right questions, doing it in a way that has robust methodology for that. So very often we think about democratization sometimes as having risks of vested interests and so on, but bringing robust research methodologies into it, as we do, makes it safer and makes it more robust, as the name would suggest. Secondly, then, the process, and particularly I would urge a concept I've learned since I've come here of evidence by experience and expertise by experience, that those involved, those who live the life that we're looking at as, in engaging with public policy, that they should also be involved in finding the solutions, because they live the life, they have the best expertise, they have the experience. And then thirdly, it offers legitimacy, because if you have the public involved from the very beginning and asking the question and setting the question, well then that gives the sense that it's the right question in the first place. So for all those reasons, this sense that we have, that we'd like to work with you, this open door that we have, this university with no gates, is really important for us today in thinking about public policy, because we'd like to see ourselves as partners with you. We have ways to look at evidence, we have ways to work with partners in this very building itself that makes for better policy making in the end. And I know that sometimes it's difficult to engage across different paradigms, different ways of the world, different experiences. And that's where I'll finish, is to say the other reason why the engagement with Fergal worked is because we bring into this experience different perspectives. So we all come with our own culture and background, our own institutional experience, and that's all the more valuable for it because we bring those perspectives to each other, which helps us understand better how we see the world. So more of the same, please. More arrangements like we had with Fergal, whether it's secondment, whether it's working together as partners, whether it's people spending time in Galway, us spending time in the public sector. We're very keen on it. We'd like to work something out where we systemise this engagement, which makes it more impactful, which makes it more broad-based, because if we are to be a university with no gates, as we are, that has to be meaningful. And we're very keen that we make it meaningful. And as we come into the next strategy and think about that word belonging, as John has said, this is our university and we want everybody to belong here. But it's also your university and we want you to belong here as well in the public policy context. So, Creek no main shin, tá an fáilte roimh, tá mi dan an bhuíochtaí bhillig, tá obair le déanamh an seo. We're very keen to work with you. And as I say, the very setting itself on the edge of campus, a building which does a lot of this work already, but also take it at University of Galway, Ulster Galway, philosophically we're with you and we're here for the public good. We want to make that meaningful, and that means working with you, and that the open gate is a two-way street. And I was just saying earlier that when I came here first, I went to Westside and asked one of the groups there how we could engage better with them. And one of the things they said was, I always remember, is don't expect us always to go to you, you have to come to us. So today, even though you're coming to us, we're also coming to you, opening the door. We're a university with no gates, and we want to work with you. Good morning, Margaret. Thank you.